Okay, we're back here at the Michigan Conservative Roundtable. Kim is to my right, Mac is to my left, and the one in the middle is TJ. So, everyone knows for the last few weeks, month or so, 2 months, we've all pretty much been in some kind of a lockdown, regardless of whatever state you lived in. Countries have done it. All of Europe's done it. There's been a debate as to the success of it, but there is one country that has not given in to the assumption that a lockdown of the society and economy is the remedy needed for COVID-19. That country is Sweden. And Sweden had some interesting statistics. Their per death capita was slightly higher than the U.S. But when you say slightly higher than the U.S., remember we locked down. They did not. And what Sweden is trying to achieve is a term called herd immunity. And herd immunity is a reduction in the risk of infection with a specific communicable disease, measles, influenza, COVID-19, that occurs when a significant proportion of the population has become immune to the infection. And when you say immune, whether by having it, coming in contact with it, or being vaccinated, so that susceptible individuals are much less likely to contract it from infected individuals. Basically, you're trying to immunize the society at large. And herd immunity is deemed achieved once you hit, say, around a 60% of the population. And Sweden is expected to hit that 60% this month. Whether or not they've hit it yet, and since we're approaching the middle of this month, but sometime this month they will have achieved that goal. They're slightly lower, their per death capita is lower than Belgium, France, Italy, Netherlands, Spain, and the United Kingdom, slightly higher than the U.S., and then their neighboring countries of Finland and Norway. Any comments so far, guys?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming in on Sweden right now, so they're really not for sure exactly where it stands. But herd immunity has been a thing. It's why the flu goes away every year. People become exposed to it, they get it, and it goes away. Sheltering in place, you don't get that herd immunity, and you don't get immunities to anything. So my thing is that by locking us down, we're going to be more prone to a lot more disease processes than just
Well, that
COVID.
might be part of their plan, so that right around election time we'll have to do mail-in voting, which is, the perfect opportunity to rig an election.
Well, the thing is there is going to be a second wave because with the lockdown, we have not developed any of those immunities, and therefore, definitely, we will see a second. I mean, I won't be surprised to see a second wave of this.
Nor I.
And taking a chance of being slightly off topic, if you remember how the evil and wicked European explorers and colonists came to the North American continent, and once they came in contact with the indigenous, we'll call them the Native American Indians, the Native American Indians, they were not immune to all the diseases, Black Plague and whatnot, that Europe had already been through. And that would be an example of
And some of those things were brought by Asia.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the lockdown actually may be doing us a lot more damage than good.
Well, I think that's the whole goal.
Yeah. The thing about Sweden, because they are taking heat, because there is the possibility that they didn't exactly isolate the groups that might be most affected, that being the elderly, and they also mentioned the immigrants who would not be so quick to seek medical attention, say like the actual Swedish citizens would.
Well, here's my thing. You know what? We're isolating our elderly, but then we're putting COVID right back into where we're isolating. So
So they die.
what kind of good are we doing?
And our governor here says if you're in a nursing home, you stay put. You're not going to get treated. You're not getting taken to the hospital. Others are. People who are guests of the state, they and the federal government, because we have federal prisons here, they're going to the hospital. They don't stay isolated.
Yeah.
There's the concern over the second wave, and due to isolation, it could make the second wave worse than what it normally would have been. They're suspecting that Sweden will not have the type of second wave the rest of us will. And they also say, at the end of the day, that will even out the numbers.
Yes.
In regards to right now, Sweden's taking it up front in avoiding the second wave. We're isolating, and then we're gonna take it on the second wave.
Yeah, and now who knows what else we're gonna take at the same time, because we'll have the flu that we haven't become immune to this flu season because we've been isolated, and all sorts of other bacteria, strep, all of that too.
Also, Sweden reports their hospitals have not been overrun with COVID-19 patients like everyone here in the United States was.
Everyone?
Claims to.
I say that sarcastically.
We had to go into a lockdown in Michigan, an extreme lockdown, because our hospitals were going to be overrun. That hasn't happened.
No, they want to claim it has, but it has not happened. We had those 2 government army type facilities built, and what did I hear, 50 in one, which it held
None in another.
Yeah, and it held like 1,000 in each one. But in it, there still were hospitals that were sitting empty while there were 50 in that one. So,
well, the big question is, they're going to debate who was right, who was wrong. Ultimately, what's going to be determined is whose economy remains strong.
Well, they're going to blame the president. If he said eat healthy and exercise, they'd say that was wrong.
Well, Sweden's economy is not going to take the hit like all these other countries are going to.
No doubt.
They didn't lock down. They didn't shut down. They didn't close the bars and restaurants.
They didn't give out all this free money.
That too. But that's the gist of where I'm trying to go with this is there's a calculated risk in everything. Most of the world went with the err to the side of caution, we'll say, by isolation and stay at home.
They were warned by the World Health Organization, which clearly is nothing more than a puppet organization for China.
Yeah.
Who did everything they could to hide this from the world.
I hate to say this, but I'm looking at our younger generation. They seem to have a keep me safe mentality more so than our older generation. I actually put some questions on some sites, some Facebook sites. If you were 85 years old, would you want to stay locked in your senior housing? And I had a lot of people like standing up and talking, and even the elderly standing up and talking and saying, no, I would rather take the risk.
Life is full of risks.
But the thing is that we're not giving our seniors the choice. We are not giving the American people the choice.
That's what the left is all about. And this is the worst in Democrat states.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
This is the
And the Republicans are they're weak. I don't know what else.
They're
weak. Bending over.
As they always have.
So anyways, that's all I got. And you know what? It'll we'll see how Sweden's economy comes out of this, say in a few months down the road here. But the general consensus is Sweden's economy is going to be just fine compared to all our other economies where we have 30-some million on unemployment or something. The figure is staggering. Okay, and you know what? It's scary. It's staggering.
It's staggering, but the thing is that I look at the percentage of people that are unemployed, and I was sort of shocked that it wasn't higher, as far as in the United States.
What is it? About 14%.
14% is what I had heard.
And that's not considering the people who have given up finding work. That's a whole other segment. Okay, anything else, guys?
I don't think so.
Nope, that's it.
That is it. That's a wrap. Thanks for watching us. See you next time. Remember, be safe. Watch your six. And don't tread on me.